All in favor? Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Now, thanks, Johnny. Minutes from the previous meeting. I wasn't here, but I read the minutes. Did board want a motion on them?
Make a motion to accept.
Motion by Doug, approved by who? Second?
Warrenville.
Okay. Steve, second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. We hear you. The public comment, 3-minute limit. Here we have some public.
You got one? Rob, did you have any comments? You can
Yep.
let us know name and where you're from.
My name is Robert Carlson. I'm a resident of Balsam Lake, Wisconsin. I wrote a letter to this committee about 3 weeks ago. I don't know if anybody's got a copy of it or not. Does anybody have a copy of it? Has anybody been notified about the letter that I sent?
I believe everybody should have gotten it.
Who got copies? If that's the question.
Yeah. I've lived on this lake for over 25 years. The last 7 years, I've been harassed by one individual almost on a daily basis. I have gone through every system of justice known in the county, and I have not gotten anything. I get a deaf ear when I go to the sheriff. I get lip service. I've written letters, I've documented, I've put in $10,000 security cameras, and I get deaf ears. I get arrested when I bring evidence. I get put in jail for bringing human feces that was delivered and dropped and thrown in my yard. Marked clearly as evidence, marked clearly that I brought it in. 12 hours later, I get thrown in the county jail. I'm tired of the harassment. I'm tired of begging for some help. I'm tired of begging for some protection. I'm tired of telling my family that it's going to be okay. We can still have an outside event. It's BS, guys. And I want something done. And I'm done with the lip service. And when I start throwing the real money at it, it's going to start costing this county. I'm not a difficult individual. I am a giver, and I have been, and my entire family has been to this county for the years we've been up here. Thank you.
Okay, any other public comments? Hearing none, we move on to information from supervisors not seated. I see none here. Administrators report, update on anything you may have.
Yeah, the only thing I will say regarding COVID first, still it's an urgent matter. Thank you all for wearing the mask. It's important as ever right now. We are feeling somewhat optimistic with the vaccines, but that's going to take us several months before us young guys get it, right? So what we can do now is facing, encouraging our people, recognizing people who are doing good, safe things. That's all we ask. We do it here in the building. Let's do what we can to make these next few months safe as possible. The good news is, relatively speaking, we were for a while getting up there to 70, 80, 90 cases a day. The last 4 or 5 days, we're averaging more like 30. So we're hoping that reported cases are coming down. The other thing I've noticed, just looking at the numbers, people are recovering sooner. We have more people recovering and getting back out than we have people getting sick. So keeping my fingers crossed, we have some optimism, but now's not the time to let up. Now's the time to keep doing what we can, and we can keep it somewhat under control. Hospitalizations got up to about 22 at its high point, and we're now down to like 14, I think is the last number I saw. So we're doing that.
I have a question.
Yes.
Quick one. Did that letter, I didn't get the newspapers. Did we have a news release about?
Yes. We put out a letter to the newspapers From the Board of Supervisors, well, I sent it on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, which said, you know, here's the important thing. Our health department has put new graphics and stuff on their websites, and we sent it out to the Drying Wire and put it on Facebook and those types of things. So we're getting it out there, and we're going to try and continue to kind of get more and more information out there to make it more normal and acceptable for people to say, wear the mask, keep your space, wash your hands, that kind of stuff.
All right.
The other thing I'll just say, in case you're hearing anything about it, this has been an unusually dry, snow-free fall or winter. We do have lime at the lime quarry. Unfortunately, it's frozen, so it's chunky. Some of the delivery folks want to deliver it, spread it now, as opposed to next spring when they might normally do it because the weather's available. And what we have is frozen and chunky. And I've talked with Mo. We can't start up that crusher and start crushing. It would take us weeks to get enough out there. So what we did was we had it trucked up. So we got 4,000 tons of lime quarry shipped here. We will in turn sell that to the farmers or the spreaders who use it. So it's going to cost us a total of like $4,000 is what we're going to spend. Additional to once we sell it, we're going to lose $4,000, but at least we're making that commitment to get that lime out and available. And then we'll be talking with general government next week about the bids, the covenant, and you know, to ensure that farmers get their things. And we're making progress on that, but we'll have to discuss it at general government. That's all I have. I see Don is here, so he'll have information about other things.
Okay. What do we got from highway?
You know, the highway commissioner was at a doctor's office. I've given you some handouts, which I don't, and he was going to discuss these, so maybe maybe we can wait, or we can move on, cover other stuff.
We'll just go on if he makes it in time. I got another commitment too, but
Okay.
we'll go on to the sheriff. Hold on. I'll just get your file.
I'll come up here where you guys can hear me.
Appreciate it.
So last month, we got approved for a $58,000 COVID supplement grant. We use that money to buy stuff for the jail and patrol and the courts to make it more COVID safe. So we bought these foggers that spray sanitize or a sanitizing solution, plexiglass, AV carts, a bunch of different things to help the courts and jail and patrol. So we got approved for that, and we're buying stuff now for it to get that implemented. In the jail aspect, we have Accurate Controls, our big jail project that's putting in new camera systems and to upgrade the system in the jail. That starts this week. They're coming on site to start that. That's a big project. We're hoping to get finished up next week or two. As far as COVID, we have COVID testing, pre-testing tomorrow at Polk again. Last time we had 400 tests. We used 395-ish. So we used up almost all the tests a couple weeks ago when they did it at Polk. So we have 400 tests again for tomorrow. We'll hopefully see how that goes. Big turnout. That's about it for the sheriff's department. Any questions?
Do we got any COVID cases in
our whole
complex, the jail? And
none reported in the jail. As staff, we had one jailer and one administrative support person that had tested positive for COVID. Other than that, nobody else had. We're trying to do our best, and we're keeping our people healthy and safe. So,
Mr. Chair, can I ask a question?
yeah,
Yeah, there was an ATV accident that I heard about. Was that in Polk County?
yes.
yes, it was. It was on County Road T there.
That was over by the old junkyard, wasn't it?
Yes.
Alcohol involved?
Yeah, it was an UTV involving speed and alcohol. They were figure. Subject sounds like he died instantly. They did try to transport him to the hospital. He's from rural Turtle Lake area, not a Polk County resident.
Well-known name over there, actually. The
Yeah.
family is. Yeah. I do. Well, okay, you got anything else? Anybody else have any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Doug, what do you want to give us a,
Okay, we had our meeting today. And we had a few problems with getting, with people that couldn't come. So we were short of 3 people. But we're still, the way I presented it is we're still kind of a conceptual, the direction we're going. And you asked about safety today.
right,
And that'll be put on the list and we'll work toward that.
okay,
And we've got 3 concepts in the county, one in Sterling for a 25-mile loop. And there's a creation of a loop in the Clam Falls area to tie together Clam Falls and Indian Creek. And then there's another one on Mackey Lake, which already is there, Bob said. And I drove over to the parking area, and there's a beginning of the trail and an ending of the trail. And they're hoping they can do something to, there's some wetland in there and they have to take care of that. But as Ben said today, when we say conceptual, because it takes a long time to put all of this thinking together and to create a new trail. The one in Sterling would be, I think we had pictures last week of conceptual with the 5-mile loop that's there now. But if you could get all of that put together, that would be fantastic. But you've got to deal with wetlands, you've got to deal with DNR, and it's Ben said it just takes a long time. Then we were asked by Rick McQuiggan, who couldn't be here today, about a section of 87 from River Road to 160. And I got a hold of our town clerk, and he had all the people that we can call from the state. And I got that. Got that for Rick today because I'm having trouble with his email. But Joe has it and Melvin has it. They'll get it to Rick, and we'll just see where that's going to go, because we have our section in Gold Lake on Highway 48. And originally that kept so we could go from north to south. And we worked with the state and it came together. So we'll just have to see where that goes.
okay.
I guess that's pretty much what we got accomplished today.
Well, good, you're making some progress.
Yeah.
Thanks to you and your committee, Doug.
What John say?
What'd you say, John?
Thanks for you and your committee.
Thank Doug and also his committee.
Oh, we do, okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
So we're working.
Okay, Doug, thanks a lot. Oh, I disappeared, huh?
Did.
Anything for us?
Sure. By chance, Vince, did you bring them down?
I did bring them down, I passed them out.
Okay. In front of you are 3 different things. One is an email that is the state's reply to the concerns on the State 65 project that Supervisor Bonaprise brought to me. So you can read the response from the state on a couple of safety issues on hills by County Road F and curbs there. The state winter report for 19 and 20 is there. That's the state summary of how we did in the state for snow plowing on the state roads, even though 19 and 20 was a bad long winter, we kept our cost per lane mile the same as we have our normal. So we did a great job on that. And then the third one is a news release on the project for State Highway 46 from the traffic circle at 64 to Amory. And there'll be a public information meeting coming out on that for public input on that also.
Yeah.
Other than that, crews are doing normal things of, brushing, making salt sand, preparing when the snow comes. Who knows? So
Okay, well,
we're good.
thank you very much. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
That project 46 comes from the Four Corners.
corners all the way to Amory?
Yes,
Where's it into Amory?
Griffin Street.
Wait, you know where Griffin Street is? The first stoplight
First stoplight.
Yeah, that's good.
coming in
Yeah,
from.
that takes a lot of headache away from you.
Yeah, big time. And then the other project goes through Amory next summer with the, putting it down to 3 lanes with a twiddle in the middle and new asphalt down Main Street.
That's pretty much an Avery project.
That's an Amory project. It'll mirror kind of what they did to Dresser there on 35 with that center left turn lane.
Okay, anything else?
You know, get this off of memory here. I don't have my notes. The scoring sheet you did for the bridges down there, County Road B and the Church Road Bridge, top selection there was Cooper Engineering. County K Bridge was Ayers and Associates, and County F, the road project there was JT Engineering. And those all been approved by the state so far, and I'm in contract negotiations with JT Engineering at the present right now.
Good. Okay, Mo,
All right, thank you.
thank you. CJCC, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, just a quick update. We have hired a new CJCC coordinator. She will start December 28th and comes to us with about 5 years direct experience with another county CJCC,
Comes from where?
Pierce County,
Here.
and runs their CJCC. Has a lot of not-for-profit experience, a lot of organizational development experience and education. So I think it'll be good. Starts December 28th, so which was the goal to have them in place by the new year. So I'm very hopeful. One thing I'm really hopeful about is looking at Pierce County, 49% of their funding for their CJCC is from other than grant dollars and not levy dollars. So they found other funding sources. So they're half funded by innovative sources outside grant or levy.
Great.
That's all I got on that.
When's the next meeting for CJCC?
December. We've got the December meeting will be the
Yeah,
next.
like 17th, 18th, some in the middle of the month.
I think it's the
Can
17th.
you get a copy of that? Okay. How about our work plan? We've pretty much been developing that all along for quite some time, have we not? Anything new?
I think the coordination between ATV, the UTV, and PTAG will continue to develop. Mo, anything on come up for you for their work plan?
Not at this time, no. Nothing that's on the horizon right now.
I might suggest, since your board priorities 1 and 2 have to deal with substance abuse and crime prevention, I don't know where it would fit in, but maybe somewhere at 1 month on this work plan. The CJCC is kind of hybrid in that it has a committee that oversees it. But maybe at some point during the year, this committee should have a meeting where they discuss how CJCC is fitting into the board priorities and ideas they have for the CJCC. I don't know how we'd fit it in, but maybe like March or something like that. You know, bringing those two things together, the alignment of the board priorities with what the CJCC committee's established.
Well, that should be easy enough. Take an item and.
Yeah, we'll just put it in, think March or April.
Maybe April to get the new director,
April,
new coordinator time.
Sounds good. If you put it in, just give us an update on that.
CJCC.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody have any questions in reference to CJCC and their efforts? I think generally the county doesn't totally understand their position yet and some of the projects and things that they've got going in the CJCC program, but that's been coming along quite well for a few years now. We're starting to understand what it is and,
Right.
and the impact that it really has on on our efforts in the county for, for reducing jail time and, those type of things. And it's extremely effective. I know it is. I'm just getting back into it now after a few years. But
I think there'll be a little bit of a shift in philosophy from, it has to be balanced between recovery and helping people and then also accountability. I think we shifted really far over to helping, and which is great, but we got to balance it with accountability because we're finding examples where people can take advantage of the system. And that's what we don't want.
I've noticed the change in the efforts. The organization itself is moving a lot better.
Yeah.
You got a question? Accountability,
Yeah.
the drug court is really good on that.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they catch you in a lie, you're in jail for a week. I know that from my daughter.
Yeah.
And she's starting to realize, I says, you've been in this thing for going on a year. And she's always complaining about not going to stage 2. These other people just, boom, they're right up there, And I says, you got to realize, you got to be totally honest. And you haven't been. That's why. And she says, now that she's got the car, her license, and job and all that, she says they're so nice to her. I says, see what a little bit of kindness does.
But I will say on the accountability point, and the reason I think maybe once a year this committee should have a discussion about the CJCC is the jail has made massive strides with programs. I know there's more on the horizon. That accountability is beyond just treatment court.
Yeah.
That's the first time offender. That's when they go into the jail. That's the things they learn there. And that's all kind of working together now, which is what we wanted to do, which really the only committee that oversees everything would be this one. So.
Yeah, it's great. Great. Glad to hear it. What have we got? Anything for the next meeting? We will definitely have the ATV, UTV report on the agenda. Is there anything else that you might want to add for January?
Mr. Chair, can I make a comment or a question?
Anything you want, go ahead.
I was talking to someone that works at Polaris. It was kind of a group discussion, and apparently, if anybody on that trail committee or somebody in our administration, Polaris has some programs where they will help with trails or maybe in parking areas or something that Doug was talking about. And so I hope maybe that somebody can get a hold of the right person or talk to somebody at Polaris and see if there is some help for trails or improvement or something. It sure worth some making some progress on that.
That's
All the
good.
help we can get.
That's good. Appreciate that. Did you have you considered that at all?
Yeah, I wrote it down. I'll try and reach out to them. And
Yeah, well,
how's that?
I know
Try and go down there.
there's a lot of different things ready, but it maybe not quite ready for them. Might be important to invite them to
But just to know
a
what's out
meeting
there.
and see what they may have available and what we're working.
Well, now that we've got a committee, if they could, I think they'd be interested in what Polk County is doing, and something would go to the county, and then get in touch with our trail people.
Right. I believe that's true. Anybody else have any comments in reference to anything actually? Well, okay. If we have nothing to put on the agenda, we will, of course, maybe get something during the month that we'll add to it. So keep looking at the website and see what the agenda looks like. Anything else? Motion to adjourn? Seconded? Did you catch it? All in favor?
Aye.
Next, John.
Yeah, everything worked real well. I could hear just everybody